On Tuesday, July 7th, Supreme Master Ching Hai accepted an invitation to an interview by journalist Ben Murnane for an article that appeared in the Sunday edition of the Irish Independent newspaper on July 12, 2009. The Irish Independent newspaper is the most widely read daily newspaper in Ireland and is available in all shops, newspaper stands, and airports nationwide in Ireland, as well as in the United Kingdom. The interview with Supreme Master Ching Hai, which took place via video conference, covered a broad range of topics, from the current critical state of global warming, the swine flu pandemic, organic farming to rising sea levels, to the detrimental planetary impact of raising livestock for human consumption. It also delved into issues related to implementing the organic vegetarian solution to global warming. We now present the interview with Supreme Master Ching Hai by journalist Ben Murnane.
Hello.
Hello, this is Ben from the Sunday Independent.
Yeah, hi Ben.
Hi. It's an honor to speak to you.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Wonderful. Wonderful to be able to connect with you. So simple like this. Yes, how is Ireland? How is the weather?
It's not too bad. It's a bit rainy, but we expect that here.
Why? Why do you expect rain? Should expect sunshine, huh?
Always hope for the best, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. You know, rain is good for the potatoes, as well.
Yes, it's great for the crops, so we need rain.
Yes, that's right.
So we just have a couple of questions for you. I'll get started straight away.
Yeah, please go ahead. Any question you want.
Great. So the first question we have is, Supreme Master Television has interviewed many of the world's top scientists and world leaders who are regarded as authorities in the field of climate change, climatology, atmospheric physics, geophysics, polar research and more. These include Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, Chairman of the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Dr. James Hansen, world-renowned climatologist and head of NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, and Global 500 award-winning physicist and environmentalist Dr. Vandana Shiva. What are their views on climate change, and are they unanimous in their conclusions or moreover in their recommendations?
All these distinguished scientists, as do the others, in the field, agree that global warming has accelerated in recent decades and that major changes must be made immediately. Dr. Hansen said that even a goal of 80% reduction of emission by 2050 is not enough. He stated that the most important thing an individual can do is to be vegetarian, stating that also the government should address coal pollution. Dr. Pachauri, who himself has chosen vegetarian diet, has said that eliminating consumption of animal products is the most effective way to halt greenhouse gas emissions as an individual. And Dr. Shiva, who is also a vegetarian, emphasizes organic vegan farming as a solution, not just to climate change, but also to public health, world hunger, and even the economy. And there are many who are not yet vegetarian who have also emphasized that meat diet is number one cause of world pollution and climate change. So we should reduce meat intake or stop it altogether.
On Supreme Master Television, you're doing regular updates on swine flu, which has recently been named the first pandemic for 40 years. Why do you think we should be so concerned about swine flu?
You see, the health experts and people who study viruses informed us that there is a grave concern. Namely, this pandemic could become more and more dangerous if the virus mutates further. According to Laurie Garrett, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and senior fellow of global health at the Council on Foreign Relations, The swine flu virus has been evolving for many years through its origin in North American factory farm environments. And in these extremely unhygienic settings, the different viruses from the animals easily mix with one another to create new, more lethal flu viruses. You remember in 1918, the flu pandemic cost the lives of 100 million people. Yeah?
Incredible.
Experts say that the same could happen again with the present swine flu. And as we were speaking, you know already the updated that recently the one strain of the swine flu virus has even resisted the Tamiflu, which is the most powerful anti-flu medicine up to date, no?
Yes.
Yeah, except they have made something new, perhaps on the testing, yes. So if we don't stop the mass animal raising industry, then, as Mrs. Garrett said, this factory farms unnatural industry will one day spawn a severe pandemic that will dwarf that of 1918.
It's very worrying.
Very, love, very, Ben. You see, swine flu is just one of the many examples of how the meat production industry is threatening human health and further highlights the benefits to be gained from the organic vegan diet. I am hopeful still that people turn to vegan diet, organic vegan diet, first to save themselves, second to save the planet. And if anybody has a loving, concerned heart at all, please, is humane to the animals. Thank you, love.
Absolutely. So on the subject of global warming, scientists talk about rising sea levels, but where can we see examples of this happening?
Oh, we can find examples in many places. You know, those low-lying countries with major river deltas, upon which millions of people depend to survive. They are seeing eroded coastlines already, dramatically. Bangladesh, for example, home to about 155 million people, is one of these major river deltas. According to Dhaka-based Coastal Watch, an average of 11 Bangladeshi lose their home due to rising waters every hour. Can you imagine? Every hour, 11 homes is lost.
It's unbelievable, that number. It's incredible.
Yes. Suppose this is your home. When we heard about it, we just think, oh, this sounds like just number. But it's people who live in there with family, children, friends, memories, and it's unspeakable.
It's horrible. Yep.
Imagine, it's us, it's our house. You wake up and you have no home anymore, or you be even maybe drown in the river. Nobody even know, nobody even care. I don't want to talk about this, but it really sad. It's really so sad, Ben.
Yeah, I can tell. It's very saddening for you. It's a very difficult topic. People losing their lives.
And these people, they already are not well off or anything. And they have to bear all this as well as a collective, consequence of the whole global warming. I have to switch it off, otherwise I can never talk anymore. In 1995, half of the Bola Island was swallowed by the rising sea, leaving 500,000 people homeless, just like that, unable to farm and live as they used to. Salt water has also been invading farmlands in Egypt's Nile River Delta, where 32 million people reside. And in Vietnam's Mekong River Delta, home to at least 18 million. Up to last year, at least 18 islands have sunken completely. And the island nation throughout the Pacific are also under threat, such that migration and plans for migration have already begun from places like Maldives, Kiribati, and Tuvalu. Maldives' president wanted to even relocate the whole entire nation. Can you believe that?
It's incredible. Yeah, wow.
Yes.
It's all due to global warming.
Yes, love, that's what it is. It's all our doing, really. In Sri Lanka, India, New Zealand, and Australia are just a few of the countries being asked to receive the refugees from these afflicted nations. So, rising sea levels and resulting climate refugees are increasingly affecting many of us indirectly as well. These tragic examples are just a few of the many on our planet and illustrate the urgent need to halt the effects of global warming, with the quickest way being to adopt vegan organic diet, which is so simple and easy. As we have mentioned many times, for reference, your reader can refer to our blog or suprememastertv.com/SOS or suprememastertv.com/killers.
Some of the benefits of a vegetarian diet: lowers blood pressure, lowers cholesterol levels, reduces type 2 diabetes, prevents stroke conditions, reverses atherosclerosis, reduces heart disease risk 50%, reduces heart surgery risk 80%, prevents many forms of cancer, stronger immune system, increases life expectancy up to 15 years, higher IQ, saves 70% of the total cost of $40 trillion for reducing global warming, uses 4.5 times less land to grow food, conserves up to 70% clean water, saves 80% of the cleared Amazonian rainforest from animal grazing. A solution for world hunger. Free up 3.4 billion hectares of land, free up 760 million tons of grain every year, half the world's grain supply, consumes 1/3 fossil fuels of those used for meat production, reduces pollution from untreated animal waste, maintains cleaner air, saves 4.5 tons of emissions per U.S. household per year, stop 80% of global warming. Plus more.
All right, look. Any more questions?
Yeah, great. We have a few more. The Irish Department of Agriculture reports an 80% rise in the number of new applicants applying to convert to organic production. How does organic farming benefit the environment and our health?
Wow, wow, wow. I'm so happy for your country. Wow, congratulations. Congratulations. You have good government, Ben. Good government. Truly.
It's a nice statistic.
Enlightened government.
It's something positive for a change.
Yes, yes. I mean, my God, how many countries does this? Huh? Ireland is the first one in the region to ban smoking, eh?
That's right, yep.
We remember that. And now it seems like it's the first country to encourage organic farming. You see, it's not just happened from nowhere. It is your government who does this. I remember your government, the Ministry of Agriculture, it wrote to all the farmers asking them to consider the organic farming method. Is that right, Ben?
Yes, that's right, yeah. Yep.
Wow. Wow. Bless him, bless him, bless your country. Okay, I'm so glad to hear this good news for Ireland, and I hope that many other countries follow suit.
Yeah, so do we all.
Yeah. If you can, please convey. Please don't forget. Maybe you can print it out, please. My heartfelt thanks to your government's bright leadership and the Irish people who support it. You know, especially the smart, responsible organic farmers as well. Please do not erase this. I want them to know my appreciation. Could you please print that?
We will. We'll pass that on, absolutely.
Yes. You know, people who do good things deserve some feedback so that they know that they are appreciated. You see, every one of us is the same, right?
Yes.
We want to know that we're doing the things that pleasing to people, and that is very good to hear that. Organic vegan farming is what should be promoted. Actually, you see, the so-called organic farming of animals is still cruel and unhealthy and unjust to both animal and humans. What I mean is organic vegan farming vegetable, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. This one benefit our health because it avoids hundreds of pesticides as well as insecticides residues in our food, the antibiotics, the unnatural additives which have been linked to countless diseases. The organic farming absorbs CO2 as well. Yeah. Compared to animal products, organically farmed fruits and vegetables contain high levels of nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants which protect us from cancer. Moreover, they taste better. Everyone would tell us that. Yeah. For the environment, organic vegan farming protects and even enriches the soil, helps to preserve wildlife habitat, creates much less pollution. The Rodale Institute found that it even helps to overcome greenhouse gases by absorbing 40% of carbon dioxide in the soil if it is practiced worldwide. 40% it absorbs already. We don't need to wait even for solar technology or anything else. We have 40% CO2 absorbed by organic vegan practices. Vegetable, yes. That is 1,000 pounds of carbon per acre absorbed and stored. Isn't that good, Ben?
That's brilliant. Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, incredible. So for our health and for the planet, organic, vegan, vegetarian farming is the solution. Yes. Well, vegan means vegetarian already, just, to overemphasize.
The next question is very much related to that, I suppose. Is the increase in the major diseases of today, such as cardiovascular diseases, cancer, diabetes, or obesity, is that linked to a meat diet?
Oh yes, Ben. All we have to do is just go on internet and see all the medical research results. There are multitudes of studies proving the strong links between meat consumption and all these major chronic illnesses, and sometimes lethal illnesses. You can see that heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity rose at meat consumption levels rose in the past 5 or so decades. Before that, we have less. When we consume less meat, we had less of these major diseases. So definitely there is a correlation, eh?
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Yeah. See, all this research cannot be wrong.
That's very true, yeah.
Yeah. A study conducted by Harvard University with tens of thousands of men and women found that regular meat consumption increases colon cancer risk by 300%.
Wow.
300%.
Wow. That's very scary.
Yes. Eating meat is tied to higher rates of all the most common cancers. And dairy consumption even increases the risk of ovarian cancer. One study of Japanese women found that those who ate meat instead of plant-based diets were 8 times more likely to develop breast cancer. Animal products are the only source of cholesterol in the diet and a main source of saturated fat, 2 things that lead to heart disease and obesity. Vegans have fewer heart problems, lower blood pressure, for example, lower risk of diabetes, and a lower risk of kidney stones and gallstones, and osteoporosis, lower risk of asthma attacks for those who have asthma. Vegans have also reversed their chronic illnesses in many cases. Wow. The list goes on, Ben. I know it myself. Many people came to me before, because for initiation, for example, I teach them meditation practice, ne? And many people came to me before because they eat meat, ne? Yeah. And before that, they have many of those diseases that you listed before. And after being vegetarian, the disease just gone, Ben.
Really?
Disappear, yes. Almost sometime overnight.
Wow.
So I can tell you by my own personal knowledge, experience. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, you don't have to believe me, but you can ask any doctor who done research himself about the undeniable link between meat and illnesses and the link between vegan diet and wellness. For example, you can watch many interviews with health and nutrition experts and doctors, all free of charge, of course, and download them free as well at www.suprememastertv.com/HL. Also, suprememastertv.com/killer for more information about the harmful effects of meat and the beneficial effect of vegetarian diet. I could go on forever, Ben, but I know we make it short. Your readers can do research themselves. Nowadays, it's easy.
It's true, yes. There's so much information out there on the internet.
Right, love. It's just that some people, they don't have time to do it, so we just make it a short summary for them, and then if they're interested, they can go more on internet to look,
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you anyway. By the way, thank you for doing this, Ben. You are doing a great service to mankind, not to island people, but to mankind, and God bless you for that, Ben. And I'm very grateful, okay?
Well, thank you very much. We're very grateful to speak to you. So we just have a few more questions then. The next question is another meat-related question. Does a meat diet affect world hunger? And if so, how?
Oh, yes. We have long known that it does, Ben. According to UN World Food Program, there are more than 1 billion people worldwide who do not have enough to eat. 1 in 4 are children. This number is increasing rapidly. Meanwhile, a significant portion of the world's food is diverted for meat production. Imagine that. People are hungry and we raise more and more animals to feed them. So the people are more and more hungry because we raise more and more animals. About 40% of global grain is going to livestock. And 85% of the world's protein-rich soy is being force-fed to cattle and others animals. Yes. Now, if we produce 1 pound of beef, it requires 17 pounds of grain, and 1 serving of beef consumes 1,200 gallons of water, while an entire vegan meal uses just 98 gallons. You see that? See the difference?
Yeah.
Yes. Now we lose too much precious food and land and water resources to feed billions of force-raised animals. They were not even there if we don't raise them, you see? While humans don't have enough and even die of starvation. If everyone ate a plant-based diet, there would be enough food to satisfy 10 billion people, Ben. 10 billion people.
Wow.
We have only 6 billion.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
It's a shame, no?
Yeah.
It's a shame that we have enough food to feed the whole world 2 times over, almost 2 times over, and then we have people hungry and dying. Every 5 seconds, a child died of hunger. And we have enough food to feed the world over double, or 2 times. Oh, what a shame. I can't sleep sometimes. All right, sorry about that. I'm a little emotional when it comes to all this. I'll go ahead with your next question, Ben.
Okay. Most people would like to reduce their carbon footprint. What difference would it make if they changed to a vegetarian or vegan diet?
A very big difference, Ben. Big difference. You see, 1 6-ounce beefsteak costs 16 times as much gasoline or fossil fuel energy as 1 vegan meal. 1 cup of broccoli, 1 cup of eggplants, 4 ounces of cauliflower, and 8 ounces of rice, to be exact, according to research. 16 times. 6-ounce beefsteak only costs 16 times more than that whole vegan meal. Now, many scientists would thus describe meat as being hugely carbon intensive, including Dr. Pachauri, the chief of IPCC. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. If all the people in the world became veg, vegan, we would eliminate at least 50% of greenhouse gas emission. 50%, Ben, greenhouse gas emission. But I know it's more than that. Karmically speaking as well, it would be significantly more than removing all the world's transportation, which is only 13.5%.
Really?
Yeah. So if we are vegan, we don't even need to worry about the CO2 yet. We do worry it's better to have a cleaner air, but CO2 by transportation and all that is not the grave urgency like methane gas and nitrous oxide and all the gases that produce out of animal industry. For my calculation, for my inside knowledge, and also scientifically speaking, 80% of global warming will be stopped if we stopped the animal industry. Okay. The well-known study by Escher and Martin at the University of Chicago found that being vegan saves more in emission than switching to a hybrid car. Scientists from Japan calculated that not eating 1 kilogram of beef saves the equivalent of driving an average European car for 250 kilometers. Can you imagine 1 kilogram of beef equivalent to driving 250 kilometers and burning 100-watt light bulbs for 20 days non-stop? So we should know where our problem lies. Now, a study by the Institute for Ecological Economy Research in Germany found that emissions from an animal-free vegan diet are 87% less than those of meat-based diet, while emissions from an organic vegan diet are reduced by 94%. You see? Again, as the top climatologist Dr. James Hansen said, being veg is the single most effective thing a person can do to stop global warming. Yeah, that's without government, even without ado, without protocol, without any trouble. All right, Ben. Any more question that you already know, but you want to ask for your reader's sake?
Yes, we have a couple more.
Please.
We are starting to hear more scientists talk about us only having a few years left to save the planet. And I notice on Supreme Master Television you have a countdown saying we only have about 1,300 days left to save the planet. What leads you to believe that we have such a short time left, and what could happen if we miss this deadline?
The truth is that, scientifically speaking, we have a short time left because we have already waited too long to act. Leading scientists and organizations are now saying this as well, especially as they find that the tipping points, which indicate irreversible damage to the Earth, are being reached much faster than anyone had previously thought and calculated. A group of scientists from the International Alliance of Research Universities just published new findings saying that the rate of sea level rise and oceanic warming are both substantially higher than what the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, estimated just a couple of years ago. You see, this report now forecasts ocean levels to rise 1 meter by the end of the century, a nearly 70% increase over what the IPCC previously projected. Of course, they estimate a little bit conservatively, yes, worrying maybe to alarm the public or just be cautious, yeah? Similarly, they found that temperatures are climbing 50% faster than forecast by the IPCC. Expert climatologist Dr. James Hansen of the U.S. National Aeronautics, Space and Administration, NASA, Goddard Institute for Space Studies in January 2009, said that we have at most 4 years left to avoid flooded cities, higher species extinction, and climate catastrophe. These are only few. There are truly too many confirmations of the urgency of our planetary situation to even name it. As for what happens, your question, what happens if we miss the deadline?
Yes.
Ben, what happened? I do not really wish to envision it. I do not really wish to talk about it.
It's terrifying, really.
Yes, a long time ago, I sat in the seaside of one of the very big, famous city and nation. Rich, prosperous, prestigious seaside. And it suddenly dawned into my head, questioning, my God, 4 years later, will this city still exist? And I just shook my head. I don't want to look, I don't want to see, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to see any vision about it. I shook my head and I just think in the other direction. Yeah. It is better we concentrate on the solution to save the earth. We can still do it. We can still do it. If everyone becomes part of the solution, which is the organic life-saving vegan diet, it's so simple, really. It's so simple. It's no sacrifice. It's even better for health, better for everything. Yes, it's so easy. Organic vegan diet, that's all we need to do for the time being, and any other green technology we can slowly develop. See, we need the solution, which is organic, life-saving vegan diet. Then our future is transformed. Life will quickly become better than what you could even imagine. Greener, lush, tranquil, contentment, happiness, healthy, and more intelligence, more incredible invention will come out of it as the outcome. With no more killing, humans and animals alike will flourish in peace, and the world will be restored to beauty and happiness. But if we do not act now to spare life and offer our kindness, the course of the earth will follow some of the most dire predictions already made by scientists in terms of immense sea level rise, poisonous gas release, and massive extinctions that, of course, could include us humans. I'm sure it could. Some of these effects can be seen already in the rising number of disasters that are causing further hunger, illness, suffering, and death. So let us all act now to ensure the future that we want, and the one we want for our children. That is, be veg, go green, to save the planet.
We need to focus on the solutions, yeah.
Right, love, right. Because the consequence will be too obvious if we don't focus on solution.
European Parliament supports reducing meat to lower greenhouse gases.
Reduce your meat consumption or stop eating meat totally.
During discussions on greenhouse gas reduction goals, the Climate Committee of the European Parliament officially recognized livestock's contribution to global warming and recommended a reduction of subsidies to the livestock industry to curb methane.
The European Parliament has adopted its own position on climate change as an institution. And as a Vice President, one of the proposals I have made is in line with your own, which is that we should eat far less meat, because that's one of the major sources of greenhouse gases.
Please eat less meat, and let's make taxes on meat. That's definitely one of the issues we're talking about. I'd like to tell people what the cost is of eating meat for the environment worldwide.
My name is Jens Holm. I'm a member of the European Parliament. Please, be veg, go green, save the planet.
Okay, Ben. Any more questions? We continue.
Next question then. In the past few months, we have heard scientists and environmental advocates on Supreme Master Television and in other media say we need to focus less on reducing CO2 and more on reducing methane, ozone and black carbon, also known as soot. How will this shift in focus help us cool the planet faster and avoid climate change?
Of course, reducing CO2 is still important as well, but reducing these more potent and shorter lifespan gases like methane, for example, will bring a faster cooling than CO2 reduction. Besides, these will also in turn reduce CO2 as well as a consequence. Taking methane as an example, scientists at the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change have found that methane actually traps around 72 times more heat than CO2, average over a 20-year period. At the same time, methane leaves the atmosphere fairly quickly. So a US researcher and IPCC member, Dr. Kirk-Smith, has shown that within just a few years, the dissipation rate of methane overtakes CO2 and is nearly completely gone within a decade. But CO2 will stay around warming the planet for thousands of years. So if we want a quicker cooling of the planet, we have to eliminate those that leave the atmosphere quickly. Is that logical?
That's very logical.
Yes. And CO2, we will still have time to eliminate. Livestock is the single largest emitter of methane. Moreover, because of methane's faster disappearance from the atmosphere, if we stop eating meat, the planet will be able to cool immediately. Almost, yes. Livestock rising and animal breeding also cause many other damages to our planet. Livestock, by far, is the single largest human-related occupier of land, the main driver of deforestation, the biggest water polluter, and top culprit of biodiversity loss. And that just to name a few of the damages caused by livestock. As for black carbon, which is the particulate matter also known as soot, NASA scientists found that it has a serious impact on climate change. Black carbon is 680 times more heat-trapping than CO2. Can you imagine it? So CO2 is not our foremost and urgent problem. The soot, 680 times heat-trapping more than CO2, is accelerating the melting of Antarctic ice, which raises the world sea level. Scientists found that 60% of the black carbon particles in Antarctica were carried there by the wind from South American forests that are burned to clear land for livestock production. You see the connection?
Yes.
So this pollutant is yet another damaging byproduct of the meat industry again. We will destroy the world if we do not stop eating and producing meat and other animal products. So the organic vegan diet is the fastest, easiest, and most effective solution for a life-sustaining planet. Yes, the solution is organic vegan diet. That is the solution, Ben.
It certainly sounds like it. Yeah. Could you tell me more about how does eliminating flesh foods and dairy products help us to reduce these shorter-lived causes of global warming and cool the planet faster?
This is very simple, Ben. The 2006 United Nations Livestock's Long Shadow report had made clear that animals raised for meat and dairy are responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than all the transportation sectors combined. So why we worry about electric car and all that, We will have time to do that if the planet cool down. With livestock as the largest single producer of methane, eliminating meat and dairy products will help to immediately cool the planet. This cools the atmosphere quickly And enough that we have more time, you see, to continue developing alternatives to coal and other fossil fuels. We need to save the planet now, like yesterday. And the organic vegan diet is the one thing, that's the thing that will do that. Another way to help stabilize our planet's atmosphere is to do good deeds. Yes. This spreads the positive vibration and constructive atmosphere we need to counterbalance and neutralize the created existing destructive energy. In this sense, you can say that eliminating animal products is the biggest good deed of all good deeds. Yeah. Because we will save the whole population of the planet, 6 billion more people. How much more good deed can it be?
Yeah.
What more good deed can be more than that, more than saving all the planetary people and the species and all the trees and all the things that we love? So, eliminating animal products or being vegan is the biggest good deed of all the good deeds. Because our cruel and unnecessary murdering of animals would be stopped. The suffering and death of more than 55 billion innocent animals, plus tens of billions of fish, slaughtered worldwide every year, would be stopped. This act of human, which heaven could not tolerate to look on, should be stopped. And the more than 1 billion people who are hungry and dying of hunger-related disease or hunger itself would eat in plenty and live. I wish that day will come soon, like now.
Thank you. How does our demand for meat in Europe contribute to the destruction of the Amazon and increased rates of melting in Antarctica?
80% of the Amazon's deforested lands are converted to grazing pastures for cattle. Of the remaining deforested land, the majority is used for growing soy. 85% of the world's soy is fed to the cattle that will be slaughtered for human consumption. And as you may be aware, Europe is one of the top consumers of beef from Brazil. So, the Amazon's destruction is clearly linked to meat production. The melting in Antarctica can also be directly related to livestock raising. Again, because the heat trapping potential of methane being so much higher than CO2. In addition, 60% of the black carbon that was found accelerating the Antarctic melt was coming from the burning of rainforests for livestock raising. See, everything points in the same direction. So, that is meat diet, see? If we stop consuming animal products, much of this lethal source is eliminated. And the heat it creates will also disappear. See the logic, Ben?
Yes, yeah.
I'm not talking of meditation, samadhi. We don't need to do all that clairvoyance. We can just see the outcome, of what we do. Of course, the demand for meat in Europe is not the only problem, eh? Yeah, we can't blame Europe alone, eh? The problem of killing animals for food is a global one. In fact, along with stopping meat consumption, we all need to pray for forgiveness. This too is part of the Earth's recovery, the awareness of the suffering caused by humanity and the true desire to reverse this action and to do good instead. Thank you.
Thank you. We are in the midst of a global and national financial downturn. How can embracing a vegan diet help us to reduce the costs of lowering emissions?
The vegan diet is clearly the most economical. This we already know from logical consideration, because with the plant-based vegan diet, we eat directly what comes from the fields. There's no need for the food including energy and nutrients to be transported and fed to the animal and then go through an animal before it comes back to the human. What comes back is a small fraction of the nutrients and energy that had gone into the system, plus a lot of harmful substances unasked for, like fat, cholesterol, hormones, pesticides, insecticides that are concentrated in the meat. There are more than that, huh? These aspects of the meat diet translate into human diseases and extravagantly high medical costs, tax money, which perhaps could have been used instead to help reduce emissions, such as subsidies for organic farming, as an example. A more educational institute for the illiterate in different parts of the world, for example. Furthermore, now, practically speaking, a report from the Netherlands called Climate Benefits of Changing Diet found that an estimated cost of $40 trillion to stabilize greenhouse gases by 2050 would be reduced a full 80% by a global adoption of the vegan diet. See, if we adopt globally the vegan diet, then we will eliminate 80% the cost of greenhouse gas reduction. 80% of the $40 trillion estimated by 2050. Can you calculate that? Can you imagine that? Wow. Yes, so we don't have to pay so much tax to begin with because of the greenhouse gas reduction project. All we have to do is just adopt vegan diet and we eliminate 80% of the cost already. That's a saving of $32 trillion.
Such a big difference.
Not only because of eliminating well over 18% of greenhouse gas emission, but 18% is just underestimated already, yeah? Not because of eliminating well over 18% of greenhouse gas emissions from the livestock industry, but also due to further reduction in CO2. Because vast tracts of grazing land are restored to nature as grasslands and forests. These elements of nature are more effective as absorbers of CO2 than any carbon capturing technology, which is still, in suspended testing and is still risky. The natural landscape of grassland and forest are more effective to absorb CO2 than carbon capturing technology, according to UN Environmental Program. Besides, it's risky, I think. It's not tested yet. What if the carbon leak back into the atmosphere again in a concentrate amount like that? When we capture them year after year, decades after decade, and then something happen and it leak up, huh? And then what we do?
Yeah.
So, with the vegan diet, we eat what's best for our health, for the animals, for the environment, and nature will do the rest to restore balance and save our world. Thank you.
So we have one final question. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change will take place in Copenhagen between December 7th and December 18th of this year. What advice would you give to the leaders making these very important decisions for the people of the world?
Well, if I may, I have only one humble advice, that it is important to tackle the root cause, which is animal meat production. If we take the vital step to stop the demand for animal consumption, then the rainforest destruction will stop. The lungs of the earth will be restored. The destructive agriculture runoff and pollution will stop. We will have clean air and clean water. There will be more food for the hungry. Above all, when we free of all the massive burdens imposed by producing and consuming meat, and instead practice the compassionate, vegan, organic farming, then the energy patterns of the world will change to a more compatible waveform with the earth and her inhabitants, and with heaven, to produce harmonious weather and benevolent life-supporting atmosphere. It's all about changing energy. Make good energy, you see. Anyway, even if it's not for saving the planet, we should not continue our pattern of life the way we do up to now. We are human. Human means humane. We should be what we truly are, humane. And many claim we are children of God, so we should be that. We cannot torture, kill of our kind, as well as torture, kill, and eat the innocent animals, the defenseless, the helpless, our co-inhabitants. Though the majority of them could return our violence in manifold, they could even kill us instantly, but they choose not to. You know that, right?
Yes.
Because they are born noble, raised noble, and remain noble and loving as they retain the connection with the divine. We are the so-called civilized, intelligent, superior species, the human race. Shouldn't we reconsider how to act with befitting manner? That is to protect, love, and preserve the life of our co-inhabitants, the animals, the environment. These certainly are recommendable, noble, and proper actions. Just be veg, go green, do good. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for speaking to me today.
I thank you for such a noble journalism like you are upholding, because we really need the media to propagate the new noble lifestyle to save our planet. And I thank you, many folk, for doing this. Thank you truly from my heart.
It's an honour to speak to you. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, and I wish you, your newspaper, company, everyone, and your loved ones and island all the best, all the blessing that you deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. I wish you farewell.
See you someday. Yeah, ciao.
I hope so. Bye. Bye.
Bye, love.
On July 16, 2009, Supreme Master Ching Hai accepted an invitation by radio talk show host and producer of Spiritual Awakening Radio, James Bean, for a discussion about the connection of vegetarianism to global warming and spirituality. On his blog, Gaia, at santmat.gaia.com, Mr. Bean, who is also a comparative religion scholar and book reviewer, shared the 7 things which he believes. God is real. God is love. All the world scriptures teach about the same manifestation of God as an inner mystical light and sound. Our true identity is soul, the self. We can experience God's love during meditation and can rise above the body consciousness to explore the kingdom of the heavens within. And finally, our purpose of life is fulfilled when we are initiated into the mysteries of the Spirit by a living teacher or Sant Sat Guru. To share the wisdom of the Masters, the richness of the world scriptures, and the diverse spiritual paths and world religions, Mr. Bean started to produce his own programs on Spiritual Awakening Radio, which is a weekly program broadcast on HealthyLife.net radio network.
Founded by Linda McKenzie in 2002, HealthyLife.net was one of the first live all-good news radio stations on the Internet. It initially broadcast 5 days a week, and 2 years later, HealthyLife.net has over 2 million listeners worldwide in 49 countries, broadcasting 24/7. Today, it has millions of loyal listeners in over 100 countries, reaching over 1,200 cities throughout the U.S. HealthyLife.net radio is also syndicated on many internet radio streams, private radio networks, and is available on Wi-Fi, PDAs, and smartphones. We now invite you to listen to an interview with Supreme Master Ching Hai by James Bean of Spiritual Awakening Radio on July 16, 2009.
My favorite ones is this cave, entryway to a cave.
Oh, the cave.
Yeah, I like the cave photo. I like that concept of having a cave.
Oh.
I don't have a cave, but I wish I did.
Yes, well, it's not that difficult to make in your backyard, you know.
Ah.
Yes, please, just make one simple. It's not illegal even, you know.
Yeah, if I had a cave, it would have a broadband internet connection.
Yeah. Join the club. My cave also has something like that.
Ah, wonderful. Very, very good to have. And the quote here mentions that you enjoy the formlessness, the silence of the cave. It helps promote meditation.
Yes. It's just that in the cave, you feel more concentrated somehow. I just prefer a small area. It's funny, in a small cave, like I have my cave like 2 by 2, like all the residents in Miaoli, Taiwan, 2 by 2. And we have a little porch in the front, maybe another half a meter or a meter, something like that, you know, where we have water and shower, something like that, yeah. But in that cave, you feel bigger. More expansive than when you sit in a room with 4 or 5 windows around you.
Ah, because it's inner space, that inner within state that you become more aware of, like meditating.
Yes, it's just like probably when you go in there, you're psychologically prepared to enter into your inner self, inner kingdom. It feels so expansive, James, you would be surprised. But, you know, if you like a cave, we have some empty. You're always welcome to go to Miaoli and enjoy as long as you want.
Ah, wonderful. Yes, spiritual retreats and...
Yes. And if you like, you can just sit there all day with your broadband. People bring food to you, if that's what you like.
Ah, that sounds kind of nice, actually.
Yes, or come out and eat with the group, you know, with the residents there. They will take care of you, if you like, anytime.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, because I think you already learned some similar kind of meditation, so you can just go there and enjoy yourself, eh?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Spiritual retreat and kind of hanging out with like-minded souls. There's nothing like it, and that's one of the most wonderful things on earth.
Yes, if you can afford to have free time. Huh?
Right, exactly.
Take a week or 2 weeks instead of going somewhere, just to go there and sit in a cave. And become caveman, huh?
That gives a whole new meaning to the term caveman.
Yes. We are different species of cavemen.
Now, with your art, what is the process involved? Do you meditate and get into a samadhi state and get inspiration for art?
No, it's not like on purpose, you know. But if you meditate a lot, then all kind of dormant abilities or talents will come out, you know. And you can do things that you never thought you could before, huh? Yes, and excite in it or enjoy doing it. So meditation does bring out the artistic you or the talented you or the poetic you, whatever you choose. It just comes out naturally, James. If we meditate, everyone will bring out all kind of ability that is dormant within themselves. So that's that, huh? Everyone can do it. Many of my association members, they also can paint and do a lot of things, artistic things, after initiation for a while. Yeah, so it's not just me, huh?
Anyone who meditates can find their potential, develop their potential talents.
Right. And it depends on whether you really have the urge to use it or not, or do you have appropriate kind of situation to express your ability or not, or you would like to or not, you see?
Right. And you mentioned in this new book, Celestial Art, there's some good teachings in here too, as well as visual photography. What caught my eye was this chapter titled Being Focused and Dedicated is the Secret of Success.
Yes. This is, of course, meditation again. Being focused means being in meditative state, concentrate on your higher self, something larger than the physical life, and then we can have, anything will come out. It depends on whether we want to use it or not, or we have the chance to use it, or we have the kind of conducive situation that we kind of bring it out to the full or not. Suppose you really are artistic, and after meditation a lot, you feel you could paint and all that, you would like to, but if you're too busy with some other things and don't have time, then it's also doesn't come out.
Right, unfortunately, yes.
Right.
What we put our attention on, that's where the energy of our soul goes. I think that's a saying from somewhere. Right.
It's just focused. That's what it is. Attentive to some things,
And you have several other books on this theme of harmony with Mother Earth or nature, the noble wilds, the birds in my life, the dogs in my life, and those are available in different languages.
Yes.
On this theme of nature, harmony with nature.
Yes. This is just to somehow contribute to humans' knowledge about other species that is our co-inhabitant, that is, they are surrounding us, they're living with us, and we should learn to know them. I just hope my books or some of my talk will bring people to being more attentive to knowing other beings apart from humans, and then from learning to know each other, maybe can live more harmoniously with each other. These are the purpose behind these books,
Yes, and as people get to know animals, it probably will turn them into vegetarians if they aren't already.
Right. Once they love something, they don't want to eat it, no, they want to protect it.
Right.
Yes. So maybe it helps somehow, hey, James?
I think so.
The books, yes.
Makes people more aware, sympathetic with the animal population, that they have feelings, they have souls.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it's a pity that people are too busy to realize that. So I'm trying my best to bring their attention back to where they should understand more.
Yes, helps promote compassion and sustainability, if we can be one with nature and just be more aware of nature.
Right. You see, compassion and love is our nature, actually. It's just that we have been either influenced by society, self-defense or survival, or, some bad experience somewhere that we became less compassionate and less understanding of other beings around us. But compassion and love is our nature.
What they call Buddha nature?
Yeah, Buddha nature, God nature, yes.
Vegetarianism in religion.
The Baha'i Faith, regarding the eating of animal flesh and abstinence therefrom. Know thou of a certainty that, in the beginning of creation, God determined the food of every living being, and to eat contrary to that determination is not approved. Selections from the Baha'i writings of some aspects of health and healing.
Buddhism. All meats eaten by living beings are of their own relatives. Lankavatara Sutra. Also, after the birth of the baby, care must be exercised not to kill any animal in order to feed the mother with meaty delicacies, and not to assemble many relatives to drink liquor or to eat meat, because at the difficult time of birth there are innumerable evil demons, monsters, and goblins who want to consume the smelly blood. By ignorantly and adversely resorting to the killing of animals for consumption, they bring down curses upon themselves, which are detrimental to both the mother and the baby. Ksitigarbha Sutra. Be careful during the days immediately after someone's death, not killing or destroying, or creating evil karma by worshipping or offering sacrifice to demons and deities, because such killing and slaughtering committed, or such worship performed, or such sacrifice offered, would not have even an iota of force to benefit the dead, but would entwine even more sinful karma into previous karma, making it even deeper and more serious. Thus, delay his rebirth to a good state. Karma means retribution. Ksitigarbha Sutra.
Gaudai. The most important thing is to stop killing, because animals also have souls and understand like humans. If we kill and eat them, then we owe them a blood debt. Teachings of the Saints.
Christianity. Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats, but God shall destroy both it and them. Holy Bible.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. Holy Bible.
Confucianism. All men have a mind which cannot bear to see the sufferings of others. The superior man, having seen the animals alive, cannot bear to see them die. Having heard their dying cries, he cannot bear to eat their flesh. Mencius. Essenes.
I am come to end the sacrifices and feasts of blood, and if ye cease not offering and eating of flesh and blood, the wrath of God shall not cease from you. Gospel of the Holy 12.
Hinduism. Since you cannot bring killed animals back to life, you are responsible for killing them. Therefore, you are going to hell. There is no way for your deliverance. Adalila.
He who desires to augment his own flesh by eating the flesh of other creatures lives in misery in whatever species he may take his birth. Mahabharata anew.
Islam. Allah will not give mercy to anyone except those who give mercy to other creatures. Hadith.
Do not allow your stomachs to become graveyards of animals. Hadith.
Jainism. A true monk should not accept such food and drink as has been specially prepared for him involving the slaughter of living beings. Sutrakatanga.
Judaism. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. Holy Bible. Blood meaning flesh.
Sikhism. Those mortals who consume marijuana, flesh, and wine, no matter what pilgrimages, fasts, and rituals they follow, they will all go to hell. Guru Granth Sahib.
Taoism. Do not go into the mountain to catch birds and nets, nor to the water to poison fishes and minnows. Do not butcher the ox that plows your field. Tract of the Quiet Way.
Tibetan Buddhism. The offering to the deities of meat obtained by killing animate beings is like offering a mother the flesh of her own child, and this is a grievous failure, the supreme path of discipleship.
Zoroastrianism. Those plants I, Ahura Mazda, or God, rain down upon the earth to bring food to the faithful and fodder to the beneficent cow. Avesta.
Everybody knows that vegetarian diet is good for health and to save the planet. They will be awakening their own great, compassionate, loving self-nature, and then their level of consciousness will rise up automatically, and they will understand more than they ever did, and they'll be closer to heaven than what they are right now.
So is this leading to a new golden age? If there's enough people in the world that are becoming more compassionate and in harmony with nature, it sounds like a golden age of higher consciousness is attempting to get started.
Yeah, we are looking forward to that, James. But human is still a little long way to go back to their great self.
Yeah.
Anyway, we try as much as we can. I try the way you try, spreading higher consciousness, reminding people to go back to their greater self. Yes, we are trying, James.
Yes, a matter of education for a better world, and it's a non-stop process, just a lifelong commitment, really.
Right. It is, James. What else do we live for?
Right, it's all compassion.
Yeah.
All about compassion. In light of climate change and all of these crises we're hearing about, we can transform the crisis into an opportunity. How can these crises be turned into something good or silver lining?
The best, perhaps, that comes out of it is that we, the human race as a whole, start to reconsider how we behave, in terms of living in peace and friendship with all beings, because they are related to us. And if anything that comes out of this crisis is that maybe human will wake up, or stop their busy life and think for a few moments that maybe we should change the way we live our life.
That's quite a step of progress, isn't it, for someone to turn themselves around or make that evolutionary leap toward compassion?
We have to if we want to catch up with other galaxy in the universe.
Ah, yes. I've always been a great fan of the search for extraterrestrial life. And it's part of that whole radio theme of mine, too, radio mysticism. You just broadcast and hope someone will answer back.
Maybe they do. It's just that our technology is not highly developed enough to understand them or to catch their frequency.
Right, yeah, that's right. They would be much more advanced, and we have to invent a whole new kind of radio for that.
And in order to invent some more extraordinary instrument or to have better technology, we have to survive first. And in order to survive, I have pleaded with humans to stop making killing karma, like killing animal for meat, killing each other. These are a big hindrance to our spiritual progress. And, of course, as well as scientific improvement.
Yes. Yeah, the connection between animals and global warming, the methane gas, and climate change. That's pretty amazing that if everyone became vegetarian, it would dramatically reduce global warming. I think people are just starting to hear about that.
Yes.
The population, they're just starting to hear. It's kind of like where smoking was once upon a time.
Yes, I hope so.
Smoking is bad for you. Eating meat is bad for you, too.
Yes. But we did not know that, cannot blame the humans for not knowing because before there were not enough information available to them about the harmful effect of meat diet. And now there are some available, but then people are being too busy with all kind of other, pressing mundane worries like financial crisis, joblessness, and all kind of these things, and diseases that caused by meat to begin with.
Right.
To let them have not enough time even to find out the cause of their illness, of their problem, of the global crisis, and even financial crisis. They all come down to that karmic retribution of killing. I just hope people do realize that, because that's important. It's not just put down that piece of meat, but also the concept of being compassionate and loving and living in peace with all beings has to be propagated by the government, by the media, by religious bodies of the world. I do hope everyone work for that goal, work together.
Yes, it'll help in the world. And many people teach that, and you do too, that by being vegetarian, it makes it easier to meditate and to become more spiritually aware.
Of course. We cannot be rising high in our soul level of consciousness if we carry so much burden of blood debt and of guilt, of conflict within our consciousness and our conscience for being part of this murderous cycle.
Right.
Sorry for my blunt language.
Oh, well, meat is murder, as that film says. Yeah, meat is murder.
Yeah, there is a film?
Yeah, there's a video titled Meat is Murder.
Yes, it is. It is, James. What else we call it? Huh?
Right, call it what it is.
Take a life is murder, eh?
Yep, the first step is always to identify the problem.
Yes.
Some of the diseases related to meat consumption and or production: Q fever, norovirus, swine flu, Ebola reston virus. Cured meats and fish increase leukemia risk in children. Antibiotic-resistant superbug infections from a strain of Staphylococcus aureus. Blue tongue disease, E. coli, salmonella. Bird flu, mad cow disease or Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, 90% of the population at risk. Pig's disease or PMWS, listeriosis, shellfish poisoning, preeclampsia, Campylobacter, Clostridium difficile, diseases hidden in healthy-appearing livestock. Some of the costs of meat eating. Infertility. Eating just one serving of meat per day increases the risk of women's infertility by 32%, with additional meat consumption increasing the risk. Heart disease. Over 17 million lives lost globally each year. Cost of cardiovascular disease is at least $1 trillion a year. Cancer. Colon rectal cancer. Over 1 million new colon cancer patients diagnosed each year. More than 600,000 colon cancer-related mortalities annually. In the United States alone, colon cancer treatment costs about $6.5 billion. Millions of people are newly diagnosed with other meat-related cancers every year. Diabetes. 246 million people are affected worldwide. An estimated $174 billion spent each year on treatment in just the United States. Obesity. Worldwide, 1.6 billion adults are overweight, with 400 million more who are obese. Costs $93 billion each year for medical expenses in the United States alone. At least 2.6 million people die annually from problems related to being overweight or obese. Environmental. Uses up to 70% of clean water. Pollutes most of the water bodies. Deforests the lungs of the earth. Uses up to 43% of the world's cereal. Uses up to 85% of the world's soy. Causes world hunger and wars. 80% cause of global warming. Plus more.
Some of the costs of milk consumption: cowpox from milking cows, bacterial microbes, pesticides and enzymes found in cheese derived from the inner stomach linings of other animals. Up to 80% of the calories in cheese are from pure fat. Breast, prostate and testicular cancer from hormones present in milk. Listeria and Crohn's disease. Hormones and saturated fat leads to osteoporosis, obesity, diabetes and heart disease. Linked to higher incidences of multiple sclerosis, classified as a major allergen, lactose intolerance, plus more.
For more urgent information, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/killers.
Tell us about the Kuan Yin method of meditation practice as a way to experience union with God.
Kuan Yin method is the ancient as old as the universe itself, and it has been passed down from times immemorial. Any time we concentrate, any time we go inward, and shut down the contact with the outer world for a while, we will enter deep into our subconscious level, or deeper into Buddha nature or God nature self. Then we will find that we are not the body, we are not this mortal and erroneous self, but we are something greater. Kuan Yin method is just the easiest way to calm the mind, you see. Because our real self is God. Our self nature is Buddha. It's just we are obscured by mundane activities, wrong concepts, physical desires, etc., etc. So we are too busy, or the society make us busy, or this physical life make us too busy. So if we go contrary to that, like we calm down, and we will see God, because we are part of God. We are connected with God at all times. So Kuan Yin method, it just helps to calm down, I think, it's the quickest way, that's all. And because it shows a direct links to ourselves and great nature, or God or Buddha nature, which is light, melodious vibration, glory, peace, love, blissfulness. Whatever that we can imagine heaven would feel like, the state of mind of heaven, we will find it if we practice diligently with the Kuan Yin method.
And I know Kuan Yin was sort of the goddess of sound in Buddhism. There's the Surangama Sutra.
Yes.
It's kind of like Kuan Yin is the incarnation of sound, or goddess of sound.
Yes, actually, she's one of the practitioners of the sound. And perhaps at that time she attains a very high level of consciousness through the sound meditation. So they call her Kuan Yin. Yes. But, James, we are all incarnated from the sound. So we are all Kuan Yin. A big Kuan Yin, small Kuan Yin.
That's right.
Yes.
We're all God, parts of God.
Yes, in the Bible it mentioned that in the beginning was the Word. The Word means the sound, the vibration. And everything that is made from this Word. And this Word was God. You see, so we are with God. We are God. We are part of God at least. So all the scripture told us that we're children of God, and that is no doubt. And if we practice this so-called Kuan Yin method, mean the practice of contemplating on our real inner self, which is the melodious, glorious vibration, then we can find out that we are truly from God.
And you mentioned that there are different levels or inner realms. I remember watching a video. I have some of your DVDs and actually some old VHS tapes, too, from long ago that someone gave to me.
You have?
Oh, yes. I've got some of your talks. And you mentioned the different levels.
Yeah.
The different heavenly... What would be the levels?
Okay. Well, for the humans, that are incarnated on this planet, we can attain one of the 5 levels, which is in the so-called spiritual steps, spiritual consciousness. We can attain from the 1st to the 5th, and the 5th would be the highest for a human to attain. For example, the first one, we call it astral level. The second, we call it the intellectual level. The third would be the creative level. The fourth would what they call the void in Buddhism. Emptiness. You will be empty of all desire and you feel blissful there. And the 5th level is the level of the true home.
5th heaven is where God is.
Yes, yes. Where the highest of the manifestation of Godhead, you would call it, would be available to a mortal human to be in contact with. Above the 5th level, there are other levels. Okay, James?
Right, right.
the one who descended to these physical realms have a different kind of karma, different spiritual makeup. And so when they are liberated, they could go to the 5th level, yes? And from there, they could be a master of humanity, could be a teacher, or they could just stay there and enjoy the blissful presence of God, the feeling of God's self, the feeling of oneness with God.
Yeah.
So we can only talk up to the 5th level, all right?
Yes, indeed.
So the first level, like astral level, if we attain that level, mostly we will feel like, we have a lot of power if we attain it, okay? Suppose you and I attain the astral level, then suddenly you will feel like everything you want come easily to you. And everything you wish suddenly will appear somewhere. Or you have a power to change the situation by mere wish, because the astral level is a magical power level. But that is not the ultimate, of course. And then the second level, if we attain it, then we have a lot of intellectual power. We have eloquence. We will never be defeated in any arguments. We will be always the winner. We have such a tremendous power of conviction and in speech that anyone hears us would feel like, we are right. And we will have victories all the time in any debate, for example. And we can also, by the way, see in our past and perhaps our future as well, because we can have access to the Akashic record, which is in the 2nd level.
Right.
Now, on the 3rd level, we will have a lot of creative power. A lot of things, ideas, projects to come to us easily if we but have time to realize them. Will be a lot of ideas coming, a lot of talents come out, a lot of abilities. Anything you never thought you have would come to you. And the 4th level, you'll be more calm, gentle, very blissful in demeanor and thinking and manner. Every day you feel life is easy and good, and you feel loving and kind. And the 5th level, that is the level of the truth, of the Master. And you will realize much aspect of God which Scripture cannot describe and which you also cannot describe.
Right, beyond words, beyond form,
yes.
Beyond the physical.
Yes, but then we don't have that much of the eloquence anymore. We passed that stage. So sometimes you find that if you're on the 5th level and people accuse you of something and you know you haven't done it and you know it's wrong and you know their concept is wrong, but it doesn't come to you quickly to answer them or to defeat them, like when you were in the 2nd or almost 3rd level or something like that. So in China, there is a saying that the wisest man seems like the most stupid. Maybe.
Yes. And the Tao that can be named is not the real Tao?
Yeah. Maybe that saying came from one of the realization of the ancient sages. And it is true like that. It is different. And then you will wonder, how come a few years ago I was so quick and sharp-witted? I can always defend myself. I can always win in any argument. And now suddenly I'm like speechless or dumbfounded in many situations. I look like I regress in spiritual practice. But it's not like that. You just get over one of your stage.
Just more within yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, I know some writings of mystics that are like that are kind of unintelligible or in a different language almost, just hard to read, hard to understand.
Yeah.
They're just in a different place, a different state.
Right.
And the 5 precepts are very nice. Refrain from taking the life of sentient beings, and that, of course, includes following a vegetarian diet, and
yes.
Refrain from speaking what is not true, refrain from taking what is not offered, refrain from sexual misconduct, refrain from the use of intoxicants, drugs, alcohol, and other addictions.
Right.
Those are very nice. That reduce karma and keep people out of trouble.
Yes. Also, this is the way a human should behave, huh? A human should have this kind of quality, at least, to be qualified as human.
Yes, ahimsa is one of my favorite words. Nonviolence,
Yes.
thought word indeed.
And then from then on, we can spring to the next level. Without these, if we are below all these characters or quality of a normal human, then we cannot spring into the next level of sainthood. For example, if we don't qualify ourselves as a graduate from high school, we cannot apply for college.
Yes, yeah. If the outer life is in chaos and conflict, it would be hard to meditate.
Yes, even if we live the life of undiscipline and guilt, we can never calm our mind enough to reach a higher level of consciousness. That's very logical.
Yes, makes sense. Absolutely.
So this is not like a commandment from God or from any master or any Puritan group or anything. It's just a category of a human, and we should have all this at least to be a human.
To be a true human being.
Yes, to be a human being. Actually, according to Buddhism, anyone who keeps these 5 precepts cleanly, even if he doesn't practice any Kuan method or any other yogic practice or meditation, they would be reincarnated again as a human and not go to hell or a lower level of consciousness or not suffering next time again. Even if they're born as human, they will be healthy, nice looking, and have enough financial comfort, for example.
And we'll probably learn meditation sooner or later.
Yeah.
And kind of keep on growing, keep on evolving.
Right.
So if people want to practice the Kuan Yin method or spirituality at home, what would they do to begin?
They should begin to clean up their life wherever need cleaning. For example, the 5 precepts, instead of killing or eating meat, we should refrain from all that which harms other beings, which hurts other beings in any way, which make them suffer, or like in the Bible says, stumble and fall. And then we have to live a chaste and clean life. Then we can start to think of seeking a spiritual guide, a spiritual friend who is capable of instructing us into the life beyond. Because without a clean vessel, no matter what kind of elixir we put in that cup, it will become poisonous or murky or unfit to drink.
Yes, in order to truly appreciate the guide, yes, to follow the precepts makes it easier to appreciate the guide, to learn, to focus.
Yeah, it's not just about appreciating the guide, it's about ourselves. Just as I said, the cup, if it's not clean, if it has some dirty things in it, then you pour beautiful juice in there, it will poison you even, or it will taste terrible and it's not a juice at all. Then no matter how much meditation practice we put into every day, we won't get anywhere.
Right.
Because the two doesn't mix, Like we have to be pure, like heaven, in order to attain heaven. Like attract light.
Yes, the outside and the inside in harmony with each other. Your inner self and your outer world all kind of on the same page, you could say.
Right. Have to be. We have to live the way we think heaven would be. If we imagine a heaven being, because we human always pray to heavens or pray to angels, and we think they are a benevolent being. They would never hurt anyone. They are helpful, they are compassionate, they are loving, they are protective. You see, they are peaceful. So, if we want to be like them, we have to start living like that.
Yes.
And the 5 precepts is helping us to go nearer and nearer to heaven. As we become perfect human beings, we can spring to the next level of spiritual achievement.
And if we're being peace ourselves, we'll attract more peace. We'll go in that direction, draw more peace towards ourselves and just kind of go to that level.
That's right, that's right. Whatever we expect to have, we must live in that.
Yep, that's what we'll attract.
Yes. If we want to be in heaven or experience heaven, we have to start to live a life of a heavenly-like quality. Is that logical?
Very, very.
Yes. Like if we want to have a college degree, university, we have first to be diligent and study well and graduate high school. And then we can apply for college. And once we apply, we have to go to college. We have to live the life of a college student as expected. We have to learn there. We have to do things like a college student.
Right, and a good student enjoys learning and enjoys reading, and it's probably a very important spiritual principle to mention that these precepts, rather than being a burden, are fun. Like when I became vegetarian, I enjoyed food more than ever before.
Yes.
It was not a duty or burden,
Yes.
but something good, something fun.
Yes. Also, we realize that this is the correct way to live, and it is more compatible to our higher self. Then we feel more noble and more righteous and more correct, and therefore burden, guilt, and feeling of heavy burden will be lifted from our shoulder. And that's how we elevate ourselves and can catch up with heaven then.
Right, these are all good things and will lead to a better life, more peace and enjoyment of life.
More fulfillment, yes. And then if we have fortune to meet a guide or a friend who help us to practice the direct contact with God, which is like the Kuan method, or the method of the light and sound, because light and sound is the aspect of God. It's an aspect of our real self. So if we contact with that immediately, that means we are already in contact with our real self or with God's self. So the Kuan method is the one that helps us to get that directly. Other method maybe can get that after a long while, or maybe not. But Kuan method is immediate. Like if you have initiation from a competent master, yes, then he or she should give you the experience of light and sound the first day already. And from then on, you develop more and more every day. And you get more and more light and sound, or at least a light and sound every day, or your life become more blissful. Every wish you fulfilled. Life become more noble, saintly, happier, and more of a saintly quality. But light and sound, that's what it is. Light and sound is what we are. And if a master can show us that the first day already to have a first taste, then we know we are in contact with God or with ourselves. Because even all the ancient masters or the scriptures told us that God is light, God is sound, vibration, splendid melody. So if we can hear that without the ears, we can see the light without the eyes, then we know we are in the kingdom of God.
Yes, experience right now.
Yes.
In this present life. Because many people think of, well, after death, then I'll get in touch with that. But if you get in touch with it now, then you know what you have.
Yes. If we don't have now, who knows if we die we have or not?
Yes, there's a Kabir poem that says something to that effect. If you don't break your ropes while you're alive, do you think ghosts will do it afterward?
Right.
Yes.
Because the dead people don't come back and tell us.
Yes, yeah. Rumi also said many similar things.
Yes.
Yep. Everyone's getting familiar with Rumi poetry these days and getting a little bit of a taste of that mystical teaching.
Right. So all the master has told us what to do. It's just that we don't do it. You see, they all say that we have to have a taste of heaven. Yes, but mostly people don't know where to find it, or they don't take care to find it. And then they complain that God is not there. God is nowhere. But God is now here, all the time.
Right. And just a matter of within, look in the right place.
Right.
Tune to the right station, so to speak.
Right. Like radio, huh?
Yes.
If your radio frequency is 100 and I just turn it to 80 or 50 or 200 even or 300, I will never get you.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, this is wonderful speaking to you today.
Oh, it's nice to speak to you again.
Yes, it's great speaking to you today about meditation and checking out your new book, Celestial Art.
Oh, that's not really my book, James. It's the book that the resident who lives in Sihu wrote it.
Ah, yeah, it's quite a large book, so quite a bit of work went into that.
Yeah, they love their place and they love what is there, so they really put their heart into it. And of course, I liked it very much as well.
Yes.
I was very proud of their job.
Yes, yeah, that's a huge book. Lots of photos and lots of teachings, too. A lot of quotes in there. So anyone can learn as well as enjoy the photography and the art.
Oh, good. I'm glad you found it that way. It's very generous of you to commend it thus.
Yes, indeed. Well, I think I have most of your book.
Oh, you did? My goodness.
Yeah, I think I have the Celestial Art and the Noble Wilds and your other animal books. But I also have a lot of your older Keys to Enlightenment, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and the Secrets of Effortless Practice.
Oh, you have more than I ever have in my hand.
Yeah, I have most of your books and poetry as well.
I don't have any. I have a couple here and there but I don't have any in my hand at all, mostly because I travel a lot and I don't have kind of very fixed area. And so everything, I guess, you can find in Merli. If you're missing anything, they probably collect them there.
I could, if I spot something I don't have, I could request a copy.
Sure. If you go there, please just ask for anything you need. Huh?
Sure, yeah, I always like questions and answer type books. Yeah, that's a nice format.
Yeah, we have. They have been very diligent, the people who practice Kuan method with me. They collect many things from my old talk or something and put it into books, and sometimes they surprise me too.
Right, yes, all of the recordings.
Yeah. Sometimes I didn't know I talked so much. Over the years about many things. Now and again, I watch the Supreme Master television and they air some of the old lecture, and I was quite surprised. I said, "Oh, I did talk like that."
Yes, yeah. Somebody sent me a box of old VHS tapes, dating back quite a few years.
Yeah,
and so I watched quite a few of those. Those, back in the 90s, earlier mid 90s.
Oh, even before that, I used to have some small talk here and there, but before that we did not record anything. So only recorded after people gather around more and they're interested and they want to keep these talks, so they begin to get a camera or record equipment, and then we begin to have the recorded tapes and books thereof.
Right, and now the television, the satellite and internet TV, people can watch talks day or night, anytime?
Yeah, anytime, 24/7.
Yeah, and it works out really well. I have different computers and use different operating systems, and yeah, Supreme Master Television works really well on any operating system or the different browsers. It works really well, I think.
Oh, I'm glad. Nowadays we have a so good communication system. It's good for the planet to have such fantastic equipment so that people can share knowledge and remind each other of goodness. Yes.
Yeah, the whole world is getting connected together.
Yeah, very connected, hey.
Yeah, I have a few friends at Facebook that are from Mongolia.
Oh.
Yeah, even Mongolia has high-speed internet now, at least in the capital and certain cities.
Yes, wow, it's incredible. And it's good that we are connected with each other. And it would be even better if we are all connected to our God self again.
Yes, everything connected.
Maybe that be one day we are more connected to our real self, eh?
Yep, connected within and connected to each other,
Yeah.
and then we'll have a golden age.
Yes, yes. It has begun already, just that to some people only, not to everybody. Because some people, they still do not realize that.
Right, got to get to the 100th monkey or that critical mass.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we can get that one day, huh, James?
Yes.
With your radio and maybe with the Supreme Master Television, we work together with others like-minded people. Maybe we can help to elevate the planet, huh?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty encouraged these days. There's a lot of people with the same vision and optimistic that good things will cancel out the negative.
Yeah.
Making progress.
Yes. Yes. The more positive energy, the better for us, huh?
Absolutely.
Yes. Let's pray that one day this world will become truly heaven on earth.
Yes, we have the power to make it the way it is now. We can make it better.
Yes, yes, sure. Everyone can do it. Just they have to use their heavenly power instead of the negative power, which unfortunately we also can have access to.
Right. Right. Well, it's great speaking with you today.
It's good, James. It's good. Thanks for doing this, because you are spreading the good news and you are doing your part in rebuilding this world, and I'm deeply grateful.
Well, my pleasure. Great speaking with you.